Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm doing a very quick video, hopefully, or quick for me anyway, for Chris Capune's Suki 500 giveaway. I've recently started following him after a recommendation from Brummy Lockpicker, I think. It was either him or Pompey Picker, I'm not quite sure. And it's all about the lock that has taught you the most. Now, I've only really been into lock collecting, lock picking and associated other fun and games for probably 6 months to a year now. But I'm an engineer by training and genetics, I suppose, and so I didn't start small. I jumped in quite deep, and I jumped in quite deep with lever locks, which for the Americans, if any Americans are watching this, obviously isn't the standard over in the US, but we get lots of them in the UK. Huge amount of lever locks, huge shape, size, distant differences, and I just love the big lever locks with big high shackles on them. They're just my thing. So the lock I've learned the most from so far is the Chubb Battleship. It's a lovely lock. It's solid. It's pretty much a one-piece lock. Basically, it's all welded together. It's very solid. It weighs a bit. It's a decent chunky one. This is an early-ish one. If you believe the numbering system, it's 1969. I'm still not 100% sure that that number means the year, but I've heard very many different thoughts on that reasoning. It's got a big old shackle up there, big high ears and sides to the shackle guard. Nice cover on the front. It's just a lovely lock. So why did this teach me the most so far? Well, firstly, I had to learn how to pick it. And of course, I'd gone off and bought a bog standard normal pick set for cylinder locks, which of course doesn't touch these. So after a bit of watching of a number of people online, I went away and manufactured my own pick set for it. So that's the first thing I learned, was to make my own tools. So my first two tools were these two. You can see that one's broken now, it's lost the little pin off it. But one's out of a nail, which that is, and obviously these are the tensioning tools. The other one's out of an Allen key, and they were just basically bent, drilled, pinned, and filed flat. So those are my first two homemade tools as such. Then of course you're into a picking wire, and first one was pretty much a, probably a paper clip. It worked okay. Second one was a bit of a more thicker gauge wire. I actually tapered the end and filed the ends down. And then I started buying actual decent bits of piano wire, and all manufacturing them to some decent shape and size. So that's the first thing it taught me, was how to make my own tools. Second thing it taught me obviously was how to pick a lever lock. This, and I would think one of the Squire 550s, maybe a 440, were my first ever lever lock picks. And this one was the one I spent the most time on, and the reason I spent the most time on it was because it came without a key. So without a key, the engineer in me just said, I've got to make a key. So I looked at a couple of videos. I'll put some links down below because I'm awful with names, but there were definitely a few people I took some really good ideas from about how to make a key, and eventually I came out with my own key. Now there's a whole video on how I did that, or at least the basics of how I did it, and so I got a key, and then the last thing that I did was it actually convinced me to go out and buy a 2-in-1 pick set, one of these Chinese ones. I think it was a total of about £18 with delivery. Bit of a modification to the ends to make sure they're the right shape and size, and again learning how to pick a lever lock with a 2-in-1 set. So when it comes to it, this has taught me a huge amount about how lever locks work. It's taught me a huge amount about tool making and tool use, and it taught me how to make my own key. So just to prove the key works, there it is, locks open, locks closed. So that's it. Hopefully that was interesting to people and it's not too long a video. All the best. Thank you very much.